Good morning, and thank you, Chairman Kesto and distinguished members for taking up this bill. My bill, House Bill 6515. I am State Representative Leslie Love from the illustrious 10th House District, and this bill is known as the Raise the Age Advisory Committee Bill, and it's a part of the larger Raise the Age package of bills. So in a broad perspective, this legislation has 4 sections. The part that defines the committee and what it's to accomplish, the committee's task, a deadline in which they should complete those tasks, and the composition of the committee. So let me explain that in further detail. What the bill proposes to accomplish is the creation of the Raise the Age Advisory Committee within the State Court Administrative Office. And it is charged to complete 4 principal functions. 1, to develop recommendations for the implementation of legislation regarding individuals who are 17 years of age to be treated as juveniles for purposes of prosecution rather than as adults. To provide cost estimates of capital operating and staffing for implementation of legislation that increases the age of criminal prosecution from 17 to 18, and third, to provide legislative, administrative, and funding recommendations for developing a permanent funding mechanism necessary to implement said legislation, and fourth, to provide a data assessment of the number of individuals who are 17 who are projected to enter the juvenile justice system, then to further organize that by county, include offense types, and do an assessment of detention facility capabilities and utilization. The second part is the committee task. The committee is tasked with making recommendations that shall include the development of the following 6 detailed plans. 1, a process to develop and implement a centralized juvenile justice data sharing system that will collect data from every county in the state of Michigan. 2, to provide recommendations for the use of evidence-based risk and needs assessment tools. 3, to provide recommendations for training judges, administrators, and other juvenile justice stakeholders on things such as risk and need assessment tools for individualized treatment, use of trauma-informed programming, and expansion of restorative practice options. 4th is to provide recommendations for expanding diversion options. And 5th, assessment on the projected need for juvenile detention beds and any modifications needed to accept 17-year-olds in residential facilities. And 6th, and finally, to provide a racial impact study of raising the age of juvenile jurisdictions to 17-year-olds. The third portion of this is the deadlines. It outlines when these tasks should be completed. And then it covers everything from when the appointment should be completed, when the initial meetings would happen, when interim reports will take place, the initial report to the final report, to finally the termination and resolution of the committee altogether. And then lastly, the 4th part of this defines the composition of the committee, which is a 21-member committee of a well-diversified group of stakeholders. I won't read all 21 of those. You probably have that in your bill and your analysis, but just to emphasize how diverse the stakeholders are that's a part of this group, I just wanted to just mention a few of them, like the Deputy Director for Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability within the Department of DHHS, Superintendent of Public Instruction, a Juvenile Court Administrator, 1 prosecuting attorney, one person from the Victim Advocacy Committee, the Director of Department of Corrections, an individual who was in the juvenile justice system as an offender, a parent of a child that's currently in the system, appointment from the judge of the Michigan Probate Court, from Michigan Judges Association, and a rep from the Michigan Juvie Detention Association. So in conclusion, this bill was developed as a result of one of the recommendations made by the Raise the Age Work Group with the purpose of conducting a thorough assessment of RTA legislation in order to provide comprehensive recommendations to adequately and sustainably monitor and support Raise the Age legislation and its funding.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Chair.
Thank you.